Can you hear me now?
Steve Jobs is still alive. Don't trust Apple.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
What?
The alphabet.
That was good.
Can you hear me now?
You don't live there.
God did. Do you feel like Steve Jobs is still alive and he watches you through your iPhone? Can you hear me now?
Jones, and this is Always for the Culture podcast presented by Elements and sponsored by the United Way. Today's guest is Tori Helene.
Hello.
Singer extraordinaire. How are you, Tori?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Good. I'm great. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we were able to sit down and talk about some stuff.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course. First, can you talk to the people about what you do, what your artistic medium is?
Yeah, so I am a singer-songwriter. I'm from Cincinnati. I've been singing pretty much my whole life. I started singing maybe when I was about 7, 8, 9. I was in talent shows for school, for choir, church. So I've been growing up singing, learning how to harmonize, just everything vocal. So yeah, I've been working on music since I graduated college a few years ago. Yeah. So my plan always was to be an artist, an entertainer, and a writer. That's just always been my dream. It's just been a lifelong goal of mine. And yeah, here I am just working on music and getting ready for this year.
I love it. So you discovered your passion really young.
Sounds like. Yeah, it was, I don't know. It's just, I feel like it's just been a part of me. I don't know. I used to be at home studying Destiny's Child. I would watch their little concert DVDs and I would just watch for hours and just studying how they performed. I loved Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, all the legends pretty much. And as I got older, I kind of studied, you know how, for an example, Destiny's Child, they had a CD where they had the lyrics in the little pamphlet thing. So I would look at the lyrics and learn how they wrote in like structured, songs. So I would try to work on my own songs and learn how to structure, and I would study how Beyonce would do runs, and I don't know, I kind of like self-taught myself. And it's also been a natural gift, but yeah.
Did you realize that time when you were like studying like that you were sort of mastering skills for your own career?
Oh, for sure.
So
yeah.
you were conscious of that.
Yeah, I was obsessed. I still am with Beyonce. I just love her. She's such an inspiration. And I've looked at how to write. I always been interested in even like Stevie Wonder. He's a very good writer. I would look at how his writing goes, and Carrie Hilson and Christina Aguilera. I used to love her. And so it's been a lifelong thing.
That's so interesting too, because I wanted to ask about the moment when you decided to embark on your music career, but it obviously started really, really early. But were you conscious of what a music career would look like? Like, I mean, you're 7, 8, 9 years old. You saw performance as a part of that. But did you think about, when did you start to think about the other aspects of the music journey in terms of like production or management or anything like that?
I think as I got older, maybe like my teenage years, because I started recording my own music. For a while, from like 8 to like 14, I would just, study and sing and do, choir and mastering that. But then as I got to like 15, I started recording music. And I just knew like, okay, I want to make this a career. I knew I wanted to be signed to a label because I just seen, what Beyonce and Destiny's Child and all these other bigger artists do. And I don't know, it's just always been a part of me and just what I wanted to do. So I just told myself that once I graduate school, I'm going to full on pursue music and put music out, try to do shows and make this a career. So.
Now, why did you feel the need to pursue college while also pursuing the career? What was the importance of that?
So my mom and dad, they're both in the medical field,
Mm-hmm.
and they're really big into education, which is important.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was 18, I was just like, no, I was a free spirit. I was really like, no, I just want to do music. But my parents kind of forced me, which I'm not mad about, because
Mm-hmm.
I did enjoy college. But they really were pushing for me to get an education just as a backup for this. So
Now, how do you feel as an artist, though, when you have to consider the backup plan? I feel like artists are always, internalizing that when they do pursue whatever it is that they're interested in. They're always thinking about, or at least appeasing the people around them with the backup plan.
Well, as I got older, as college went on, I was just like, this is a good idea. I felt like it was, at first I was against it, but then, I just went through it, and it is a good idea to be educated, and it taught me a lot about life and with my degree and everything. But I don't know, I've always been firm on this is what I'm gonna do, doing music, but as a backup, at least as a cushion, it was a good
Right.
idea. So I was okay with it. I just went along with it.
But I'm glad that you said that you were still firm in pursuing your career. I think that's the key for any artist.
Music just makes me so happy. I mean, it's just the joy of my life. It sounds corny, but it just really is. And I just can't see myself doing anything else. I'm not happy doing anything else. So I just know that I just have to be consistent and really stick to this.
Yeah,
and it'll work out
within your core. So I love that.
When you say you're not happy doing anything else, why are you laughing?
I don't know.
Go ahead,
Eating
go.
don't make you happy?
Oh my gosh, it does.
It's a verb, something that you, and also music being the joy of your life. Ain't the Lord supposed to be?
Oh, of course. No, God is, and He's the reason why I have this gift.
I barely got through that one.
There you go. There you go.
I think it's official. I play too much.
You do.
I'll stop.
But that's how we love you, Noah. That's a part of who you are.
Oh,
That's
God.
not your core. You're playing too much. Anyway, back to Tori. When we're thinking about the core elements that make you the person that you are, can you talk a little bit about how your sense of self has expanded on your artist journey?
So, what exactly do you mean? So,
I guess I'm thinking about when you talked about being so young and deciding, okay, I want to sing. But obviously you experienced so many pivotal moments during these formative years as you evolve. But how has music helped you evolve into the Tori that we see right now, the woman?
Well, I've been through a lot, just, the business side of everything, and just learning myself as an artist, because back when I was 15 recording music, I was a completely different person as, compared to now. But I think just life kind of changes you, and it's kind of changed how I write, how I sing, the topics that I talk about. And also just with this career and, working on music and everything, it's really made me more strong-minded, because it's a very hard and trying field to be in. So I think it's kind of changed me in that aspect. But yeah.
Absolutely. Considering how life has helped you evolve as a person, I wonder, what are some of the ways, how has music sort of stepped in to be like that medicine for you during darker times, or you am I making sense?
So it's always been like therapy for me. It's always kind of like my outlet. I feel like I'm more myself when I'm writing music, and just in the music zone that I'm in. Is that what you mean? I don't know.
No,
I feel like
absolutely.
I don't know, but yeah, I just think that music is who I really is. It helps me be who I am, because sometimes when I'm, compared to talking to someone and, friendships, relationships, I feel like I'm more myself when I'm expressing myself more when I'm in, singing and writing music, compared to, in life.
Right.
So I feel like I don't know, it kind of is my outlet and how I really express myself and who I really am.
Right.
Pretty much. Yeah.
It unlocks that expressiveness.
Unlocks. Yeah. That's a good word.
Now, thinking about your career, what are some obstacles or even triumphs you've experienced pursuing a career as a singer, as a writer?
Well, okay, so I've been releasing music since 2018. And compared to now, I've learned a lot. A lot of this is, everyone who's an artist, they focus a lot on the music and just, the music aspect, but there's so much more to it, like the business. Now, for me, my goal is to expand, build my fan base, travel nationally, hopefully internationally. So, it's really important to have a team and just like everything business-wise, marketing. Back when it was 2018, I just put out music. I didn't really know how to promote myself very well. I did a kind of good job, but I've had a mentor named Jarrell Pert. Shout out to him. He's been an amazing person to me. He's really mentored me and guided me on, different aspects of the business of, split sheets and registering your music to BMI and just like about a lot of other technical things. So I would say that I've learned a lot about that. And just now, compared to what I know now, I just know what not to do, as far as the business and pushing music. So yeah.
And what about some triumphs that you can think of? Some wins.
Yeah. Well, I've definitely gained, some fans. I feel like my performing is definitely better. I feel like my music overall is better. I feel like my writing's better. I feel like I'm just growing every year. I feel like I'm evolving and I'm just improving as an artist more.
Beautiful. And
I'm really excited for what I have this year, that I'm releasing a new project. It's my best work.
Okay.
I'm confident. So.
Yeah, say that.
Yeah.
Stand on it.
So I'm really excited. So.
Okay, but you're in Cincinnati. Are there things that you can talk about in terms of pursuing a music career here in Cincinnati as opposed to some other major city?
Well, get yourself out there. Definitely do the open mics, the events, network. Try different sounds, work with different engineers, producers. Over the last couple of years, I've expanded my network of producers, and that's kind of changed my sound. That's why my new music sounds a little bit different than a couple of years ago. But yeah, just network, get yourself out there, perform as much as you can. I think that's important as an artist here.
I like that you mentioned how your sound has changed. How important do you think allowing yourself room to be experimental when it comes to music making?
Oh, it's definitely important. I think I'm very versatile. I've always enjoyed different genres, and I think it's important to, try different things. It's fun. And even if you don't, enjoy a certain sound, it's kind of like trial and error. It's just really fun to just try different sounds and explore and being an artist. I mean, I don't know. I enjoy that. So like I said earlier, I like Christina Aguilera. That's different than Beyonce. I like Ariana Grande. I do like some country. I like Jessie James Decker. She's not as known, but she's a country artist. I don't know. I like different sounds and I like to explore and not just be stuck in a box. I've never liked to be this one-dimensional artist. I like to be different. I have a song on my new project that's completely different than anything I've ever made. So I'm excited.
Did it ever scare you at first when you started to step out into new territory as you were making your own music? And at one point, or if you can pinpoint a moment when you decided, I don't want to try this out.
I've never really been scared. I think it's fun to surprise people. I do try to consider like my target audience and what they might like, but I like to try different things. I never really been scared. I enjoy being different and standing out.
Yeah.
So I never cared.
I feel that. I love that attitude. Yeah. Did it take time to get to that type of headspace though, where you're like, you know what? I don't really care what other people have to say. Or maybe
when it comes to music, no. I've always been pretty confident when it comes to music. Good. And obviously I make bad songs sometimes, obviously, but no, I enjoy stepping out of my comfort zone and trying different things. And I never really cared, you know. And if it doesn't sound good, I just leave it in my email. So.
Oh, right. I feel that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're like that in other aspects of your life?
No. Music, I'm a little more free and I don't care. But, you know, like friendships and relationships, I care a lot more. And, you know, in life, I care more. But yeah, music, I'm more free. And that's what I love about it. I feel like a sense of freedom when I create. So
I feel that.
Who's your favorite bluegrass artist?
Okay.
You said you out here with the diversity. Give me the
I don't
bluegrass.
I don't like bluegrass, but
that's crazy.
Well, I can't say I don't like bluegrass. I don't listen to it, but I do like. Okay, John Mayer. He's really dope. He's not bluegrass. He's more country alternative.
Yeah, alternative.
Yeah, I love him. I'm obsessed.
Death metal. Who you got?
But
Do you have somebody?
Yeah.
Do I have somebody?
I don't have, like,
Absolutely.
For bluegrass.
Oh, for bluegrass?
Yeah.
Nah, it's not about me.
I mean, you sounded like you had somebody in your back pocket.
I
Just
got my wallet in my back pocket.
Oh my god, he's funny. I don't listen to metal. So Jessie James Decker, she's a pop country. She's more country a little bit, but she's really amazing. She actually sounds like Christina Aguilera, but like a country version. Oh my god. If you don't like Christina Aguilera,
I didn't say nothing.
I'm about to say. I'm just kidding. But who else? I like Dua Lipa.
Dua Lipa?
Is it Dua Lipa?
Dua Lipa.
But she's like pop.
Yeah.
I like a lot of pop. Rock, I don't really listen to. Well, I can't think of any. But I mean, rock's okay. Country's okay.
You
I
like
like jazz.
what you like.
Yeah, I'm just open. I'm open to
Everything
all
except bluegrass.
Oh, I do like Mumford and Sons.
Oh yeah, Mumford and Sons.
Is that's bluegrass?
That's like folk.
You know what that
Yeah, that's like folk.
Folk music.
I will
Yeah,
wait.
folk
I
music
will
is good.
wait for you.
That's wild.
That song, I like them. They're cool.
not in a bad way. I just
It's
never
like
heard nobody
modern,
saying folk
like,
music.
Yeah.
folk adjacent, like folky.
They the ones that
pop
play the accordions.
Yeah.
adjacent.
They got the accordions.
Do they?
No, I know they have guitars, but
You
just saying anything.
I was just about to start naming
right
instrument that were in. You know what? Go ahead.
Now, can we talk a little bit about how your creative process was affected during COVID-19, during the pandemic? Because you did write in your bio that you like completed an entire project during.
Yes. So I have a tattoo. You can't even see it anymore. I don't know if you. It's called Chainless. So I worked on an EP called Chainless. That word means like pretty much being boundless, being free, and it was fully done. But for some reason, I wasn't super excited about it. I didn't have that feeling. I don't know. And I love the songs, but I just wasn't satisfied. So I started all the way over. I actually worked with different producers for my last EP, Moonchild, and that's how that came about. So yeah. So for COVID, I just wrote a lot. I couldn't record because the studios were closed, but all the emotions of, uncertainty and kind of sadness from COVID, I kind of put that in my music and kind of expressed myself. And then once everything opened up, I recorded. But yeah, it was like a slow time. And there was an app called Voicey where you can like sing and freestyle songs. And it was like an app you can record videos on. And I did that. So that was my way of working on music, I guess.
Right. Now you said that was a slow time. Do you mean like slow as in just slow because of what the world was going through, or just slow for you making the music?
For the world and making music. Now I'm a germaphobe, so that's one thing about me. So I wasn't trying to be out there at all. Like, when we kind of like slowly opened up, I was still like, nah. I still wear a mask, even to the grocery store, because people are dirty.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. That's how we ended up in the position.
Yep, right. So yeah.
But congrats to you for having productivity during that time.
Thank you.
Because I think that helped I feel like people can all agree, for the most part, to this, that that downtime allowed everybody to sort of reevaluate things and
regroup.
Regroup. For many artists, I think that was a time when.
I disagree.
Okay, you can.
No, I'm just kidding. I only disagree because you kept looking at me while you were saying it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put some 2 cents in.
But I think that was a time for many artists when they were able to complete a lot of projects.
Yeah.
Especially because like the hustle and bustle of everything, it literally was a stop.
It was.
To everything.
It was weird.
Exactly, very weird. But we made it. We're here another day, and that's what we need to, hold on to.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of you're going through the process of creating music and pursuing your career, how do you prioritize self-preservation?
So I'm more of like a free spirit, and I kind of just go with the flow. So if I'm stressed, I'll stop what I'm doing. I'll watch TV, see my family, friends, and kind of just take a break. I do that even with writing. If I have writer's block, because I can sense when I'm getting frustrated and I can't figure out anything, and I'll just stop what I'm doing, regroup, and just do life things, just regular life things, and then come back. But yeah, I don't know. Everything, I go by my emotions and how I feel, and just if it doesn't feel right, or because with music, when I write, usually songs that I've put out, like I usually write them pretty quick, and if I don't feel it coming to me, then I'll stop what I'm doing, or I'll come back to it later in a couple weeks or a couple days. So yeah, just go with the flow.
Did you ever find like yourself putting pressure on your own process though? Because I know sometimes it can feel like, oh, I just gotta produce, I just gotta make stuff.
Yeah, sometimes I do. I actually, for one of my songs on my new project, I got the beat maybe in September, and it took me like 2 months to finish it. And I was getting frustrated, and I'm just like, why can't I get this? Because I knew what I was going to talk about, but for some reason the words weren't coming. So I just had to take several breaks just to deal with that. So.
Well, how do you sort of like give yourself grace then? Or did you have to discover that you had to give yourself grace in those moments? Yeah,
I did. And I just learned to be okay with not having it right away, and just kind of like, take my time and kind of have more patience and, like you said, grace. Pretty much, yeah.
Now, what do you sort of envision for your career?
So right now my focus is to get more reach, build my fan base. I want to do way more shows out of town, and get my name out there, put out this project, put out a lot of content. I wouldn't be opposed to getting signed to a record label, but it would just have to be the right situation. But yeah, just, building my career, just growing pretty much.
And what has that process been like though, in terms of trying to put your music out there and increase your target audience, or even just trying to get signed? What's that been like?
It's very, very, it's hard. Because a lot of this at the end of the day is like a business. So I put out a single. You were in it. Sweat.
What?
And
wait a minute. You put out a single and Camille was in it?
Yeah.
On the song or the video?
We were dancing in the music video.
Oh, y'all in the video?
Yeah.
When you said she was on the single,
oh no, not
I was
on
like,
the
what?
song.
You had Camille in the studio ruining your song?
Oh my god.
With death metal and folk music vocals?
Oh my god.
And bluegrass? Okay, I'm just trying to bring the jokes back. Yo.
What was I saying?
You had the single.
So I put out my single, and then for some reason after I released it, like a couple weeks later, I was just like, I don't know. It's just, I've done a really bad job, I'm just gonna be honest, with promoting. Like I feel like I'm not as consistent as I should be, but it's also a money thing, having the right budget. And so I told myself, I'm not releasing anything else until I have a bigger budget, a better plan, because I've always had plans, but they never like felt, they weren't right. I don't know how to describe it, but so this year I'm doing way better with my plan and what I'm going to do and execute. So
I have faith in you.
So thank you.
Of course.
So it's just like it's been a learning process for years, and just what to do, and this industry changes so much. Like now TikTok's such a big thing, and it's important to get on TikTok and having reels and constant. And I've done a terrible job. I admit it.
Why do you think you've done a terrible job, though? Is it just that you're not motivated to do that kind of stuff?
It's not that I'm not motivated. I kind of am like a perfectionist, and like if my hair doesn't look right, I'm not doing a video. If my makeup looks a mess, my eyebrows look a mess, and I know like I'm kind of hard on myself. So if I don't feel like I like my outfit that day and I don't really want to wear anything else, then I'll just be like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, and then I don't know. I kind of procrastinate, but this year it's gonna be different.
Yeah, and step one is recognizing that about yourself. So if you already got that down, you know how to move accordingly.
Exactly.
To stop your own self-sabotage, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's self-sabotage.
As a singer, how do you feel about auto-tune?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, I use it a little bit. I feel like I don't ask them to do it. I think they added a little bit just to keep the pitch right. But I mean, I don't know. I don't like, it just depends on the levels of auto-tune. If it's like T-Pain, nothing wrong with him. He can actually sing.
Yeah, he can.
He can blow.
Tori dissing T-Pain. You heard it here first, folks.
No.
That's one way to get in the industry.
He can blow, but I would never use like all that auto-tune. But I don't think there's anything extremely wrong with it. I mean, if you rely on it, but it just depends.
Okay. When you talked about being a perfectionist and being like essentially your worst critic, like I feel like, because I'm the same way, and it almost seems, it just goes against the act of creating, you know what I mean? When we get so caught up in like, oh, this isn't right, or we're just looking for all the reasons for something not to be.
You get in your own way.
Yeah, you get in your own way, but I know it's important to recognize like tools and like things to sort of combat that sort of thinking. And for myself, I think I've evolved or sort of navigated that by just sort of like finding ways to let go, or even just sort of like helping myself like step away, like sort of take my, like if I'm in something, I'm figuring out ways to mentally like remove myself and sort of just try to look at things objectively. What sort of tactics have you used to sort of like alleviate that pressure?
The verbiage right there, like tactics, is so funny. I don't know. It just seems kind of dramatic. Like the word tactics instead of like some type of strategy.
No, it is a strategy though. Because if you think
when you say tactics, I'm thinking like battle. Like you really out here.
But it's a tactic, because you have to sort of be like how you talked about a video. If my hair's not looking right, my makeup's not good, whatever, you're saying, okay, I'm just not gonna post it. But we also know that prevents you from getting the exposure, you know what I mean, that you want. So what tools are you?
And it still start with a T.
Well, what I do, I kind of, it just depends, because if it's like making music, are you meaning that?
Yeah, making music, or even just the performance. Because
making music, I don't have any tools.
I'm
annoying.
Yet.
Like I literally, because I grew up like in church. I grew up in choir and just learning notes and music theory. So like if something's flat, I gotta fix it. Like I'm not. No, I don't know. But I mean, sometimes like I'll have Evan, he'll probably tell me, no, it sounds fine. You're just overthinking. You're doing too much. And I'm just like, okay. But then I'll like listen to the song 8 million times. Like, no, I have to go back and fix it. So I don't know. I need to work on it.
I mean, it's human nature though too.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us are just sort of hardwired to what's the word I'm trying to use? When you
anti-establishmentarianism.
Yes.
What?
No, when
That's
you sort of
you
contradict.
Yeah.
When you contradict yourself, because like music is where you have you feel the most free, right? For most artists, that's when we're in our mediums, we feel the most free, right? Doing the things that we love to do. Yet we are also looking out for the mistakes every step of the way. You hear when you're flat and you're like, I gotta fix it. So we constantly are in this mode where we have to combat our own contradictions. Yeah. And I think I still struggle with that. Yeah. But that's okay. That's okay. You're allowed to be that way because we're all, a work in progress, respectively. Yeah, I think it's just, I don't know. I do need to work on it, though, because I want to be more consistent. I do get in my own way. And I think that's the problem with me. Do you think it would help if you were able to remove yourself a little bit away from the process of, like, say, promoting, like marketing your own music, like if you had somebody to and that's another thing, like I have my mentor when I need him and if we can talk and everything, but I am doing this pretty much all by myself, so it is a struggle being an independent artist, having to work on marketing and then your music and branding and photo shoots, videos, and I mean, I plan all my videos. I think of all my concepts for photo shoots that are cohesive with the EP, because I've studied like Beyonce and who else, Ariana Grande and Christina Aguilera, everyone, because I see how they move with their record label and how they, how can I describe it? They have like a rollout and seeing how everything fits together and how, and I study that because I want to be at that level where, I'm polished kind of to say, and I don't know. I guess I just feel like I have to get to that level and sometimes I'm not satisfied. I feel that, but you're doing it too. You know what I mean? Like, though they are doing it, I'm trying my best. And you're doing more than trying. They're on a higher scale or a platform, but you're doing the same things and you're doing it by yourself. I know, they have huge teams. Exactly. Yeah. So you should give yourself, a little bit of praise for that. Yeah. Give yourself some grace for that. Being an independent artist is not easy at all. Not at all. But you're grinding, and then when that moment comes where you can form your own team and you have people to do these things and work with the operation so you can focus on the creative aspect. Think about how, like, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be a complete relief. I mean, I'm sure you'll still be like hands-on, and just be able to focus on the creative part. That's the beauty of it. But that's what you're working to do. Happen. It will. You're doing the hard work now so that it'll come. So you're on your way, Tori. Thank you. You're definitely on your way, for sure. I would like to talk a little about your first album. What was that like for you to create like your first project of music? And then think about that moment to where you see yourself in the future. Are you meaning Dark Angel? Yeah. So Dark Angel, I'm embarrassed. So I did that when I was in college. And at that time, I definitely was different. It was like dark, emo type R&B because I was very influenced. I still am. Tinashe. Oh yeah, she's another artist I love. That process, it was fun. Everything. Anytime I make a project, it's always about I've realized it's always about like relationships and my emotions and being like sad and depressed. Well, that project was. Yeah. But I don't know. It was fun. I feel like making projects and music is just so natural to me that I don't know. It's just really natural. It's just who I am. Exactly. I don't know. I'm just expressing myself in an artistic music way, I guess. I don't know. No, absolutely. You definitely are. And that's a beautiful thing when you can take your experiences and encapsulate them into something like tangible or transform them into something beautiful or lasting or take that pain and turn it into something good. You know what I mean? So I think that's what you do with your music. Yeah, and it's also sometimes I look back and listen to some of my old music and it kind of brings you back to that moment. Well, that time in my life, and it kind of sucks. So
I don't know. It brings back, those emotions that I had. So
I feel that. What would you tell young people considering a career in music?
I would say, write, keep writing, keep recording. If you really want to be serious about this, learn the business. Just learn the business. Go to open mics, perform, get used to being in front of people, and learning stage presence and everything, and just learning every aspect of what it is to be an artist and be consistent. And now that social media is such a big thing, definitely have content and constantly posting and promoting, because being an artist, I think a lot of artists, we think about just the music part, and we're not thinking about pushing ourselves as a brand. And that's what's important. If you want to get to that, there's people that they just do this for, as a hobby. And then there's people who are serious, but if you're serious, remember you're a business at the end of the day.
Now, do you think there's a fine line that you have to walk then as an artist to keep yourself from like writing for people or writing what you think people want to hear?
Yes, there definitely is a fine line. But I still try to make music that I love to do. But I just also keep in mind that, about my audience at the same time. So there is a fine line, but I still try to do what I love, and hopefully, and I just hope that the people that I believe would listen to my music will love it too. So
have you ever encountered a moment where you had to like stop yourself or like scrap some music because you're like, you know what, this really, like, I kind of did do this for other people, or like this really didn't come from like my heart?
Not lately, no. I feel like everything that I've been writing and I've been going through, every woman can relate to. So I don't know. Maybe back when I was younger.
Yeah.
like I do have okay. Anybody can listen to it, but okay. So I had an EP. It's out now. It's called Delusional. I had a song called Paranoid, and I feel like that was not my target audience. What I thought the people that would listen to my music would not.
What did it sound like?
It's okay. So Delusional was very, very dark. For a while I had a lot of dark music. I don't know. It's just very edgy and emo, but it was R&B, but it was just very dark. So Paranoid, the beat, I feel like women want. I don't know. I feel like it was for men. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of judging, but I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I just overthink, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
It's okay though. I mean, I think it's okay to evaluate your own work.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm definitely my biggest critic when it comes to music, and maybe I'm wrong. I'm just overanalyzing.
That's okay though. I did want to ask about one thing about you being a singer-songwriter. What do you think about features, like having people to collaborate with? What's that process like?
It's funny that you asked that. So, like I said, music is such a journey. I do enjoy working with other artists. I'm learning to be very selective with who I work with. It's been a long journey. But yeah, it's, before I would be very like open to working with anybody, and I'm a nice person. But I'm just going to be honest on here that some people think I'm a diva when I'm not. It's just, I don't play about my business. And I guess some people don't take, stuff serious. So they think it's a game. And then when I am more assertive and I speak my mind, then I'm a diva. So, but anyway, but yeah, I'm just really selective on who I work with now. I've learned that starting the top of this year, that you have to know your business, and also if we have chemistry and we can get along, and I understand you, you understand me, because it's all about building relationships too. So, but I have some features coming out soon. I've featured on other people's songs that I'm excited for this year. So, yeah, I'm just about being selective and gelling with the right people.
Right. Yeah, I think that's key. I think it's not a bad thing to just prioritize finding the artist that you have alignment with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes the process easier.
Not everybody gels well together. And
everybody's process is different.
Yep.
And that's okay. If you can figure that out early, that's a good thing. Yeah. That's a good thing. A really good thing. And what's on the horizon for Tori? You talked about new music at the top of the year. What else?
Well, just my focus now is just this new EP. I have a lot of dope videos and content and music. I'm going to be traveling a lot this year. I'm going to be going to Austin in March, and other cities later on this year. But yeah, my goal is to just tour and go on little tours and, you know, performing in other cities. Because I didn't get a chance to this last year because of life things that have happened. But yeah, this year I'm going to be out there. So
good.
I'm excited.
That's great, Tori.
I know. I'm excited.
I'm excited for you.
A lot of shows to prepare for.
Dope. I'm glad to hear it.
Yep.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
I enjoyed the conversation.
Me too.
That's all, folks.
I told you not to hold.
Cut.
Right.